maybe so. Bit of good news out today for undergrad students, graduates, and parents looking to take out student loans. The federal government just lowered the interest rate on new loans by 0.5%. It doesn't sound like much. It does, however, come at a time when millennials are drowning in debt. Debt that many tell our Joyce Evans is killing their professional lives before they even get started.
You did it. Closing the final chapter on adolescence. Moving on to the next phase. Career, family, mortgage. But not so fast.
Currently, I'm about $40,000 in debt.
It's literally going to be like $20,000.
I don't like to think about it because it's scary.
It's a new rite of passage, steeply on the rise, and there's nothing here to cheer about.
It's hard to want an education when you're paying so much money for it.
More than $1 trillion in student loan debt, sending more than 40 million stumbling into adulthood and beyond.
I mean, you talk to anybody and they're just in debt up to their eyeballs.
And it's weighing heavily on our newsroom interns, clamoring to land jobs.
I mean, there's people who don't go to college who are making more money sometimes than people who do. I mean, it's just...
The average graduate in the class of 2016 is carrying $37,000 in student loan debt.
We're thousands of dollars in debt before we can even get into the real world. It's just crazy to me.
Sabrina A. Graffenberg.
And they still have another year till graduation.
And things aren't going to be as rosy as maybe they thought it was going to be.
So these are big numbers, and the reality is that a lot of these folks weren't ready for the shock.
Please apply.
Or what it would take to dig out.
I'm paying around maybe $700 a month. Yes.
The aftershock of pomp and circumstance.
6 months later, they're like, we want our money back. And we want it now.
But how?
I didn't have a job or anything, so I'm like, okay, how am I going to pay you guys back?
30-year-old Jasmine Curry has her bachelor's from Penn State and her master's from Temple, and now a great job at Temple, but still.
It still comes up to like $700 every month.
She wants a husband, children, and a home, but...
You think about, oh, yes, I love him, it's great, but how much are you paying in student loans? Like,
her life is on hold.
It's stressful because I'm thinking about how, like, I don't know what's going to happen in the future.
She's drowning in about $70,000 of student loan debt.
This is 2 or 3 different ones.
Yes.
And 1 or 2 more federal and private loans.
Do you have any idea when you'll be done with these?
Think about maybe 15 years.
You'll be 45.
Yes, ma'am, I know. I'll be 45.
Jasmine is not alone.
There's record numbers of people in their 20s living back with their parents.
And it's the parents of those children who ask financial experts like Dan Hernandez and Dan Ricardo for help.
If you can live home for a short period of time, put some money in the bank, get some progress against those student loans, do it.
It's tough for millennials, they say, who expect all the comforts and pleasures of life immediately.
There's no magic answer. You have to budget, you have to spend within your means, or you're going to find yourself in holes.
Using her own nightmare, Jasmine now counsels students about how to avoid the pitfalls, like make a student loan your last option.
You should always apply for money.
At your church, neighborhood groups and businesses, large and small.
Anywhere you go, they probably have a scholarship fund.
And check out available grants and scholarships even after you get into a college to replace those loans.
I want to make sure students don't have as much debt as I do, or if they do have debt, they know how to manage it.
Now, you can apply to have all or some of your student loans forgiven or your payments lowered. You may be able to do it through the military, public service, or by working at the college you're attending. Still, there are no guarantees. Joyce Evans, Fox 29 News.